So guys, today we are going to talk about Fire Hand and Ice Hand, and are they as good as people make them out to be? And as you have been seeing, if you've been watching like deck profiles and everything, pretty much everything since YCS Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, like almost a month ago now actually, people have been splashing in the hand engine, quote unquote fire hand and ice hand. And granted, it is a cool little neat engine, but is it really all? Is it really all that it's cracked up to be? Um, Testing it out and whatnot, playing with it, it's a good engine. It's a cool engine. I like it. I like fire hand and ice hand, but the fact of the matter is they can easily be stopped, and I don't think they're personally, after playing against them and playing with them, I personally feel that they, first off, don't belong in every single deck out there. Like, I don't know why the heck you put Fire Hand and Ice Hand in Madolches. I mean, I understand the concept, but I don't think that's the best way to play the deck, personally. That's just my personal take, but whatever you want to do, you can go do it. But I don't think they are supposed to be splashed in every single deck. They're personally, I also feel like they're upgraded battle searchers. Really, I mean, back in the day, we had things like Shining Angel, Mass Dragon, cards like this, even Flying Kamakiri for insects and wind type monsters. So, I mean, they were cards that when they got destroyed by battle, you would search another card out. So you would thin your deck out in that manner and get another monster so you could use for tribute fodder, etc., 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 and a whole bunch of other different ways. But nowadays, the hands are kind of like the upgraded version. They have better effects and they can search out one another. But the fact of the matter is, they first got to be normal summoned. Okay? And if you normal summon them in attack position, you're pretty much giving away your plan. Like, hey, I play Fire Hand and Ice Hand. And your opponent can, summon Abyss Dweller, make Black Ship of Corn, and stop that play from really happening. They can stop them from really being the best they can be. And there's a whole bunch of other different ways you can get around Fire Hand and Ice Hand. Though I will admit, though, if you set a Fire Hand and Ice Hand first turn and then your opponent attacks, that's a little scary because you're going to run into a Fire Hand or Ice Hand and you're going to be like, oh crud, I didn't know he played Fire Hand and Ice Hand. But doing game 2 and game 3, if you know that knowledge that they play a Fire Hand and Ice Hand, you can play around that to some degree, and it makes them not as scary. Though the element of surprise does play a factor in how good they are, especially if you set them face down. Once you know that your opponent plays them, you can you can cater towards getting around Fire Hand and Ice Hand as much. So I don't think they're the bomb per se. I think they're good. I think they're good generic fun cards to play with, but I don't personally feel like they're the bomb, the best card ever, like I've been seeing like being splashed in every deck. I mean, I'm more afraid of a BLS hitting the field or a Chaos Emperor Dragon hitting the field than Fire Hand and Ice Hand, because there's ways to play around them. When Chaos Emperor Dragon used to hit the board, that's scary stuff. You had no effect for the other Fiendish Chain. But now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, we have a lot of ways to get around certain cards, and I don't feel that they're as good as people make them out to be. And I definitely feel like they shouldn't be splashed in pretty much every single different deck I see. Like, I've been watching deck profiles, and I'm like, Fire Hand and Ice Hand, Fire Hand and Ice Hand, Fire Hand and Ice Hand, Fire Hand and Ice Hand. I'm like, they're cool, they're good, but I don't think they're supposed to go in every single freaking deck ever made in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not going to play Fire Hand and Ice Hand in Gravekeepers. And I actually saw somebody do that, and I was like, oh, where's the world come to? But that's just my thought on them. So in conclusion, I feel that they're a good, cool engine to play with, and they're a decent engine, but I feel like they're an upgraded battle searcher. But I definitely feel like they shouldn't be splashed in every single deck. It's probably a trend, just like a couple of weeks, months ago, we had the Upstart Goblin trend. Now we're having the Fire Hand and Ice Hand trend. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! There are everything, if something works for somebody, then everybody wants to try it out. So that's just my final. So guys, there's one more thing I wanted to add before I ended the video, so I just spliced this little scene in here. Another thing to keep in mind is also that Remember Wind-Up Zen Mines? Remember that level 3 monster? Remember that when that card first came out and people said, oh my gosh, this is the bomb. This is an amazing card. And people play, 2 of that card. And then eventually people figured out how to play around Wind-Up Zen Mines. And then Black Ship of Corn came out and pretty much kind of neutralized Wind-Up Zen Mines. People were thinking back 2-3 years ago that Wind-Up Zen Mines should be hit because it was considered too broken a card. But people evolve, they learn how to play around certain cards, they learn how to get around it, and eventually the card becomes just another card. And I wonder if that's going to happen with the hand cards. So what is your take on the hand cards? I've given you guys my take on the hand cards. I think they're, in conclusion, I think they're a good battle searchers. They're good. They belong in some decks, but I don't think they belong in every single deck out there. But what is your take on the hands, guys? And until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you all of you guys next time. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys.